Jane Madej, and welcome again to Doodle Bliss. Today we are going to talk about how I add lettering to a journal page. As you can see, I've got my drawing here, and I lay out my lettering on a sheet of tracing paper first to make sure I get everything straight and the way I want it. So I lay the tracing paper down. I've drawn the edges of the drawing just to help me get it in the right place. And then tape that down. And what I have here is Seural transfer paper. It has graphite on one side and it's plain on the other side. So you slide that under, and then with a sharp hard pencil, you could also use a stylus, you just go over everything like this. I really like to get everything laid out ahead of time so that I can review it for mistakes and work out where I want everything to be, rather than mess with it on the actual journal page, because if you do a lot of erasing and adjusting on the page, it can damage the surface of the paper. And that damage will show up when you go to paint or color it. And it's good to use a pencil with a hard lead to make sure that the image actually transfers. If it's too soft, it might not go through. And you can use the graphite paper, the transfer paper, use it over and over again. There is plenty of graphite on the back. I'll use the same sheet for months. You don't need to throw it away after you've only used it one time. We always want to save money, right? When I'm lettering a quote, I usually make the name of the author of the quote smaller. I think, for one thing, it just is more appealing to have a variety of sizes, but it helps with the emphasis. You want to emphasize the actual quote itself. So that's got that. Now you lift everything up and you can see the pencil lines there now. And so now all you have to do is go over that. I've got a Pigma Micron here. And I should say that I'm working in an Archer and Olive journal for this. I am sponsored by Archer and Olive, but I really do think that this journal is my favorite. And I'm not too obsessive about perfection. I mean, this is hand lettering, and so some letters are going to be a little wonky. But for me, the most important thing is the way it fills the space. I like the lettering to be an equal part of the composition to the drawings. I have one notebook where I just write down every time I come across a quote that I think I might want to draw or add to my journal, or just a quote that means something to me. I keep that in that journal. And then I can refer back to it. That's especially helpful if you have a tendency to artist block. Boy, that word life is really wonky. If you have a tendency to artist block, keep a notebook or a file just of things that have meant something to you, that have triggered some kind of response. And looking through that file or that notebook can really help inspire you when you're looking for what you want your next journal page to be. I like using a Pigma Micron. For one thing, it doesn't smear if I put paint or markers on. Also, it dries quite quickly, so I'll be able to erase my pencil marks under here really soon. And that way I can get to the fun part where you add the color. Well, all of it is fun. The drawing and the layout is fun too. So there you go. There's a journal page all drawn out and ready for me to add the color. I hope you enjoyed that and join me again next time on Doodle Bliss. Thanks a lot.